On today's live daily news, a horrific crash in Ozona, a criminal who, before committing a crime, apologizes, and the Russians shot down an American drone. Plus, Chadwick and Trammell break down March Madness. All this plus more. I'm Joe Hyde, and this is Live. We'll get to the news in a minute. But first, spring break is here, and what a better way to spend it than at the Penny Bar and Grill at 2412 College Hills. It's St. Patrick's Day all week long. They'll have specials including half-price Texas-made liquors on Texas Tuesday night, Dollar Wells on Thursday, and a huge St. Patrick's Day party featuring Hayden McBride on Friday night. The Penny Tap House is the place to go if you're looking for some fun. They're located once again at 2412 College Hills Boulevard. The Penny Tap House will see you there. We start the show today with some heartbreaking news. In Ozona on Monday night, a crash killed multiple people. Although full details have not been released, based on our sources, we learned that a vehicle with a grandmother and her granddaughter from Ozona collided head-on with a vehicle involved in human smuggling operation. Rumors have been swirling across the internet that the crash happened, we know, on State Highway 163 near Interstate 10. As law enforcement was in hot pursuit of the truckload of illegals, and it's unconfirmed right now at this time exactly how many died, but we've heard as many as 5 illegal migrants have died in that crash also. Sandra Live has been in contact with both the Crockett County Sheriff's Office as well as the DPS, and they have confirmed the report but not released further information pending notification of next of kin. Here at Sandra Live, we wish everyone peace during this difficult time in Ozona. Be on the lookout for that update soon. In court Monday afternoon, a paint rock man was sentenced to prison time for escaping the San Angelo police while under arrest. According to court documents, Ignacio Gonzalez pleaded guilty to possession of meth, escaping custody, and stealing from the elderly. His legal troubles began with the theft charge. In 2018, he pleaded guilty to theft and received a 3-year probation sentence. Unfortunately for Gonzalez, his probation was revoked because of a failed drug test and some missed payments. A warrant was issued and police took Gonzalez into custody. Following the arrest, Gonzalez was taken to Shannon for treatment of a minor injury. Police went to fetch him from Shannon, but before the cop could open the door of the police car, Gonzalez turned to the police officer, said, "I'm sorry," so he apologized, and he took off running. Police quickly recaptured him and took him to jail. Now Gonzalez will spend the next 5 years in a Texas prison. Well, at least Gonzalez was polite. In national news today, it seems like a blast from the past as Russians destroyed a U.S. military drone over the Black Sea. That's over there by the Ukraine. During a press conference on Tuesday morning, a Pentagon official had this to say.
Was this collision itself an accident on Russia's behalf, and is the U.S. responding as such?
We are continuing to assess exactly what happened, but I think based on the actions of the Russian pilots, it's clear that it was unsafe, unprofessional, and I think the actions speak for themselves. What we saw, again, were fighter aircraft dumping fuel in front of this UAV, and then getting so close to the aircraft that it actually damaged the propeller on the MQ-9. We assess that it likely caused some damage to the Russian aircraft as well. To our knowledge, we know that the Russian aircraft did land. I'm not going to go into where they landed, but again, it's just demonstrative of very unprofessional, unsafe airmanship on the part of these pilots.
Are you looking for a good job? If so, go apply today at Alejandro's Kitchen and Tequila. It's a new restaurant right down there on Sherwood Way toward the Loop. Right now, they're hiring front-end staff and servers. Apply in person at Alejandro's at 4388 Sherwood Way. For more information, please call Alejandro's at 325-617-4472. In fact, there are a ton more jobs and opportunities on the San Angelo Live's jobs sections at sanangelolive.com/community/jobs, or just click on the jobs tab on the homepage of sanangelolive.com. And now here's Yantis Green with the biggest story of the day.
Two unique businesses are looking to open up soon in downtown San Angelo. If you are a regular bar patron, here's some good news for you. Circuit Breaker and Glitches Arcade both offer tons of arcade games as well as serving cold drinks. Circuit Breaker has been getting ready since last summer, but let us know a few days ago that they are getting close to opening up. As for Glitches Arcade, they started their soft opening last Thursday, just in time for spring break. Circuit Breakers is located at 109 South Chadbourn, and Glitches is located inside the Marshall Pike over on 19 East Concho. These two new businesses will bring a new concept to the normal bar scene downtown, and because of that, it is the biggest story of the day.
I'm going to get straight to the point. We have trucks, and a really good selection of trucks. We have factory rebates, we have low interest rates that'll make for low payments, and then the real kicker is they're discounted too. It's the perfect time to buy a new truck at Jim Bass Ford. Don't miss this. Only at Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart and Arden Road, or 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
All right, welcome back. It is time for a little March Madness. Of course, it is March, and what's the biggest thing? That's right, March Madness. So me and Ryan Chadwick, James Bellini went and took a vacation today. So me and Ryan Chadwick, we're going to break down all the action, whether it be the round of 64, 32, the Sweet 16, the Elite 8 down to the Final Four, and of course, that NCAA championship that's going to be coming up in early April. But of course, with March Madness, we're going to want to do what everyone else does, and that's a bracket. So today we're going to be going through the Cover 1 San Angelo Live bracket this year. See if we can't get 100 on our score. But before we get to all of it, let's bring in my co-host right here, Ryan Chadwick. Ryan, what's going on?
Oh, just one of those, one of the best times of year, like at the end of basketball season. It's like you get to the point where even if your team's not in it, you still feel like you're a part of it because, everyone can get behind an underdog. And so that's what March Madness is all about. It's one of my favorite things about college basketball, even though, the Red Raiders, for both of us, we didn't really do so hot this year. That'll give us more of an unbiased taste of this, so it'll be okay. We got a lot of games to get to, Chadwick. Let's start breaking it down, but before we do, we have to set the entire scene here. We still got 4 teams who are fighting their way into this, so let's talk about them first. Who are our final 4 teams in? I know one of them's from Texas, so we're going to have to root for them. Yeah, so the games actually start tonight. The big tournament starts on Thursday, but tonight the first game kicks off in Dayton, Ohio at about 6:40 p.m. tonight. It's going to be Missouri State versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Simultaneously, the number 11 seeds are going to be going at it. See who's actually going to be that 11 seed. It's going to be Pitt versus Mississippi State. Now, tomorrow, we got Fairleigh Dickinson versus Texas Southern and Nevada versus Arizona. So, Arizona State, my bad. Sorry, Wildcats. I know y'all are a 2 seed. So, Arizona State. So it's definitely going to be one of those where these games, these playing games, decide the 16 seed and the 11 seed, so we can start the real tournament on Thursday.
Well, the 16 seeds, it's not impossible to win. We saw it a couple years ago with what was it? What was that, Chadwick? Is it NBCU or who was it? The 16 seed. They knocked off Villanova a few years ago, so it's not impossible. I think the way basketball is growing, some of these small schools have a way to make it interesting, I guess, when you go in there. And then, of course, those 11 seeds, man, that's something you always want to bet on. You know that one of these 11 seeds will more than likely get it done. But you want to just go ahead and get into all the games exactly from 16 and just start trying to pick them?
Yeah. So it's looking like we're going to have a couple of 1 seeds in action on the opening day. We're going to have Alabama versus one of those winners of the 16 seed, and then we're going to have another one, Houston versus Northern Kentucky. We're going to have Kansas, they're also one of the 1 seeds, versus Howard, and then finally Purdue versus another one of those play-in seeds. Now, Matt, like if you're like me, like I've already made several brackets, and I have a couple where I take a little seriously, and then I have a couple more.
Your dreamer picks.
Yeah, my dreamer picks. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I still have a bit of a Big 12 bias, but that's just because we're the best conference in basketball, right?
Well, we won it the past 2 years.
Yep, the past 2 years. We had Kansas last year and Baylor the year before that. But it's definitely going to be one of those where this year it's just kind of all up in the air. The Big 12 has kind of eaten each other. They still managed to grab one of the 1 seeds in Kansas, but we also got Baylor's a 2 seed, Texas is a 2 seed. We got Kansas State as a 3 seed, Iowa State's a 6 seed. Oklahoma State and Texas Tech didn't manage to get in it, but it's definitely one of those this year that the Big 12's got a good chance for that title.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not even talking about Texas. Texas was the one that ended up winning the Big 12 tournament at the end of the day. Yeah. It's like they are the ones that maybe could be making this really long run.
And that is also with all the drama that Texas has gone through this year with Chris Beard getting fired from the team, and they have an interim coach step in. They play incredibly well throughout the Big 12. They do just enough to be one of the top seeds in the tournament. And then in the Big 12 tournament, they just kind of wreck shop and they go all the way through. Beat Kansas in that final game to claim that 2 seed. So Texas is definitely a team that we got to watch out for. But other than the Big 12, we still got to watch out for the other big schools in this. I know Tennessee's got a good squad this year. They're a 4 seed. We also have USC. They're a dark horse in the Pac-12. They came on strong at the end of the year. They're only a 10 seed this year, but it's also someone to watch out for.
Of course, Chadwick, we have to say this: Alabama's got shooters.
Alabama has shooters. They
and more than one way than another, there's some shooters on Alabama.
So the ones that are actually on the basketball court have played incredibly well for the SEC this year. And this is also a school that has remained in the top spot for multiple weeks during this season. But really, my favorite to win this tournament that's not the Big 12 has got to be the Houston Cougars, right?
Yeah, man.
So future Big 12 there.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be one of those where they have an easier conference for the time being, but they had enough quality opponents on their schedule to deserve that number 1 ranking. And the Cougars are good. Okay, so I would not be surprised if I see them cutting the nets down. But I think that my favorite dark horse this year is actually going to have to be Creighton. And I know that they're a 6 seed, so they're still up there. But it is definitely one of those that I could see them making some noise. Other than that, we got the Aggies. The Aggies are back in the tournament this year. They're actually on the same side of the bracket as Texas.
There's so many Texas teams in this one, and I think it's really going to bode well. I think if for people who are in Texas making their brackets, I mean, be a homer in this thing, because with all the amount of people that there are, you're likely going to have a winner going to be from Texas. I mean, 2 years ago we were thinking what's going to happen, and Baylor ends up winning it. I mean, there's tons of good teams out there, especially from the Texas area and from really just around us. So I think it's going to be really interesting. Chadwick, I think we've talked about it enough. Let's try to get ourselves on a bracket somewhere, and let's go ahead and start picking them.
Like, we can definitely start making those picks. So if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, if you got something pulled up for them, we can definitely show.
So, yeah, I definitely have a picture of just the overall bracket. It's going to be 1 seed Alabama versus one of those playing games. What are you thinking there,
We'll probably just move all these teams that haven't won yet. I guess we'll just move them forward.
I mean,
what?
I'm still going to pick Alabama.
Yeah, exactly.
Alabama's good. All right, so let's move right along. We got Maryland, West Virginia.
That's going to be a closer one, I think. I think West Virginia has a really decent squad this year, but I mean, with those, what is it, Maryland, Big Ten teams? It's
ACC, right?
Yeah, ACC. I don't know. What do you think for that?
I'm going to roll with the Big 12 on this one. Their quality competition is just higher. San Diego State and College of Charleston.
Oh, man, that's one of those going to be a toss-up in the air. We're talking about, San Diego State. I can't really read the rankings here. I guess that should be the 4-12 matchup.
A 5-12.
5-12 matchup. So sometimes you see upsets in that, but probably not in this one. I'm going to go San Diego State.
All right, we got 4-seed Virginia versus 13-seed Furman.
Probably Virginia. Is that what you're thinking? Are we thinking because a lot of these, I feel like in the first round, it's hard. I mean, it's March Madness. So there are upsets, but
I'm definitely gonna say that of the first, especially in this side of the bracket, I'm basically picking the higher seed unless they're from the Big 12.
Okay, I see. All right, moving on to our next one, we're going to be going to Creighton and NC State. For this one, I'm going to go with the upset on this. I think NC State has a decent club. Of course, if Joe Hyde's listening out there, Joe Z. Hyde, that's right up in his area. So I'm going NC State. Got to rock with the Wolves in that one.
And you know what? Like I said, they're my dark horse to win the whole thing. So I'm going to have to disagree with you there. But for the sake of our tournament, I'm going to go ahead and pull it through.
Okay.
All right. So next we got 3-seed Baylor and 14-seed UCSB. Pretty sure that was
UCSB. Was that University of Central Southern Baptist? I don't know.
Santa Berkeley?
Sure.
Santa Barbara?
Santa Barbara.
University of California at Santa Barbara.
There we
maybe?
go. Yeah,
that sounds more right. But regardless,
it
I'm
doesn't
going
matter.
with the
They're
Baylor
not going to
Bears.
win. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're going to hear their name once, and that's going to be it.
All right,
so.
and then next week we got Missouri and Utah State. Missouri is the 7th seed in this one. Utah State's the 10th seed.
That's going to be a tough one.
See, this is the one I'm going to pick the lower seed on.
I feel like that's almost a low seed game that's probably going to win it. It's going to be close. Man, I don't know. That's a toss-up for me.
Yeah. Other than that, the last one in this side of the bracket is Arizona and Princeton. I think we can both agree Arizona's moving in.
That's an
easy
one with that one.
All right. Flip it to the other side, and we're halfway done. We got Houston versus Northern Kentucky.
Well, I think we're both on the agreeal that the Cougars have a really good ball club this year. So let's go ahead and just move it on with the Houston Cougars and move on to the next game there.
8-seed Iowa, 9-seed Auburn.
That's a toss-up. What are you thinking?
So I saw Iowa come back with under a minute to go. They were down 11 with under a minute to go.
Yeah.
Come back to force overtime against Michigan State not too long ago. I'm gonna roll with Iowa on this one.
I don't think that's a bad read. I think that this game is going to be one of those toss-ups. It may come down to who's a game of runs, like you're saying, or maybe who gets that last shot or one of those things. So I think we'll roll with that one.
Yeah, and as good as the Tigers can be at times, the SEC outside of Alabama hasn't impressed me as much as they have in years past. So next we got 5-seed Miami, 12-seed Drake.
Oh, Miami's probably going to drop this one, Chadwick. I have this bad feeling.
No faith in the Hurricanes.
No faith in the Hurricanes. It's been a thing for Miami over the past 3 or 4 years that they're going to get bounced early. They're not going to be doing any big runs. They don't go dancing. If they make it to 16, that was a really good Miami team. But I think we're out one and done in this one.
And honestly, this is the San Angelo Live bracket, so let's pick some upsets. That's what it's about.
I'm in.
After that, we got 4-seed Indiana versus 13-seed Kent State. I think we can both easily agree on this one.
Yeah.
This is going to be the Hoosiers all the way.
All day long.
Iowa State versus one of those playing games. It's either going to be Mississippi State and Pitt.
That's that 11 playing game. Mm-hmm. That's going to be, whoever comes in may have momentum rolling in, but I don't think it'll be enough. I think
I can definitely agree with that. Yeah. The Cyclones are a mystery to me, though, because at times the Cyclones look like they're the best team in the Big 12. Yeah. They can put it to Kansas, but then like they'll turn around and they'll lose to Texas Tech by 19. So it's just like it's one of those.
We'll see who happens.
We'll see who shows up. And I think Mississippi State and Pitt are going to be lucky to be here. Yes, they could be playing with momentum, but I think Iowa State's a better team, so I'm going to go with Iowa State.
All right. Moving on to our next game. I think we're down to what seeds are we at right here?
3 seed and 14 seed. We got Xavier versus Kennesaw State.
See ya, Kennesaw State.
Yep, that one's easy. Xavier. All right. Joe Hyde, we got the next one for you. The 7th seed Texas A&M versus the 10th seed Penn State.
I would Penn State. Is that what we're thinking, Joe?
Yeah, I think Joe Hyde would pick Penn State on this one.
Yeah, Aggies out in one. No, but seriously, I think the Aggies have a decent team this year. I think they got a ball club that can go maybe 2 rounds. I'm not thinking all the way into 16 or Elite 8, but I'm thinking, they're going to get past this round and maybe the next one as well.
Oh, easy. So, and final seed on the top half of the bracket here is going to be number 2 Texas versus number 15 Colgate. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm going to roll with the Longhorns on this one.
Man, the Longhorns won the Big 12 championship last week, and they did it with some fashion, too. I mean, they ran that tournament, and, they played really good ball all down this stretch there. And they have a good story. The Chris Beard thing got fired, have an interim coach in. I mean, they have a really good story, and, of course, it is Texas, so we gotta root for them a little bit. So I think they're going to have a pretty deep run and definitely getting past this first round.
All right, so moving on to the round of 32 on the top side, we got Alabama and West Virginia.
Man, Bama is really good. I know that they had some drama going down, but that's going to make it where these script writers for the promos, they're going to be hyping this thing up, how they felt adversity and all this stuff, and I just think they're probably going to be better than the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Matt. I'm also rolling with the Crimson Tide, so let's go ahead and move them on. After that, we picked the San Diego State and Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
So I'm rolling with the Cavaliers on this one. They're not too far removed from their 2019 national championship where they beat my Texas Tech Red Raiders in overtime there. And this is still a good team. They're well coached. They play great defense. Again, that's one thing that Tech kind of fell off on that Virginia did not. I'm rolling with Virginia.
I think San Diego State can score a lot of points. So I think this is going to be kind of a trouble for them. But, maybe Virginia wins this one. Maybe San Jose State wins this one. I don't know. But we'll rock with yours on this one and keep it moving.
All right, NC State and Baylor.
Whew, here we go. Dark horses.
So
versus champions.
They already have one upset if it goes this way against Creighton.
Yeah, but I think the Bears are just the Bears,
I agree.
No, they're not the bad news Bears.
They're not the bad news Bears. Yeah. Like they're not the 2021 Bears, I guess.
Yeah, but they still have a really good ball. They have a really good ball club. They made the tournament out of this tough Big 12, so they're tested. Let's just say that.
After that, final one on this side, we got Utah State versus Arizona Wildcats.
Oh, what are you thinking on that?
I mean, Utah State, again, it's an upset. Arizona comes to play every year, but like this, if there's going to be an upset on this side, it's either going to be Arizona to either Missouri or Utah State. So I can definitely see Arizona dropping it. I don't see them making it past the Sweet 16 this year anyway. So it's one of those.
I'm down to rock with Utah State. All right. They're going to be coming. Aren't they coming to the Big 12 next year too?
I don't think
so. Are those
one
of those teams?
Yeah, like we got a head coach from there not too long ago. I think that's what you might be thinking of.
No,
but
I thought they were one of those teams that make
that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Now we're going after actual Utah.
Oh, Utah, that's what it was.
Like
yeah,
Pac-12 Utah.
Yeah, there we go. My fault.
Yeah.
All right, moving to the other side now. We have made it past one half of these 32.
Yeah, we got Houston and Iowa.
Houston and Iowa, we've already talked about it. Iowa's a good ball club, but Houston right now is on fire. They're one of the best teams in the nation, so I'll just rock with the Cougars again.
Yep, I'm with you there, Matt. We got Drake in Indiana. Drake just upset Miami in this scenario.
I think that's it, though, for
Yeah,
them.
but I don't think they're upsetting the Hoosiers. After that, we got Iowa State, Xavier.
I don't know. Let's see. Iowa State, making this thing. Xavier has, their March Madness. When you think of March Madness, they're one of those teams that are always in there.
Year in, year out, they're a perennial tournament team. But
they never win it. They're always they're in it, but they never win it. So I don't know who you picking.
This was more of a coin flip game for me, but I am going to roll with the Cyclones.
Big 12, baby.
Big 12, baby.
All right.
That's what I mean. I was like, I might be a little biased, but I know how good Iowa State can be at times. And I'd like to see, I like picking a couple upsets, so this would be another upset for me. Last one, again, Joe Hyde. We got the Aggies versus the Longhorns.
Texas Longhorns versus Texas A&M Aggies.
Definitely not a matchup we get very often anymore.
You can't write this in like some kind of storybook the way that they've had it. Texas A&M versus Texas in the round of 32. I think we're talking about a 10-point ball game though.
Yeah, I mean, like I could see it happening. Like it's like again, just like the Cyclones, it depends what Texas team shows up to play. You know, I'm not taking any away from the fact that the Aggies got shooters on the outside, but the Longhorns are just so talented all around. You know, like they have a perennial top 5 class no matter what, and so like I think the Longhorns are going to win this one. Like it could go either way. The Longhorns do have a history of choking in this tournament though, so.
Recency bias will tell you, though, that they just won a big tournament. I would have to just lock them in on that one.
Okay.
Got to keep them alive.
We can do that. All right. And so
sorry,
now,
Aggies. Going home.
Yep. Now we're
16,
on
baby.
to
Sweet 16.
The Sweet 16 in the top half of this bracket. We got Alabama, Virginia.
That's where you're starting to get the toss-ups right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is when brackets bust if they haven't busted already. Alabama, Virginia, and I say maybe Virginia by 3 with something crazy because I don't think Alabama has enough to take this thing all the way.
I don't think so either. Like they've dropped a couple games this season that they probably shouldn't have. It's why Houston was perennially able to grab that number 1 spot back from them. So I also see Alabama dropping this one to Virginia.
All right.
We got Baylor and Utah State.
Baylor finally gets those Cinderella story out of there.
Yep.
Utah State's been dancing,
but
the
Sweet 16 is definitely the time. Yeah, it's definitely the time where you get all those Cinderella stories out. Very rarely, going back to Steph Curry's Davidson days, hardly any teams make it all the way to the Elite Eight that are these really low seeds. Yep. But hey, weirder things can happen. But I'm on with the Baylor Bears. Houston and Indiana.
The Cougars, I think the Cougars are definitely going to the Final Four, so I don't see them dropping this one. Do you?
I mean, Indiana's good at times, but I'm rolling with the Cougars. Like I actually
number 1 team in the nation.
Yeah, number 1 team in the nation. And I actually looked this stat up. Like it's cool to say Cinderella stories are a thing, but out of the last 15 years, 12 or 13 of the past champions have all been 1 seeds. They're the ones cutting the nets down at the end. So
yeah.
It's one of those.
Yep.
You have 4 chances out of the total pool. But, yeah, and finally we have Iowa State, Texas, Big 12 matchup.
Iowa State and Texas, I think, man, you're getting back to Big 12 tournament stuff.
Yeah, and, like, again, I'm picking Texas in this one as well.
Yeah, I gotta rock with Texas. It's the hometown. They're the 2 seed. They're the ones that have that ability to probably go get it done. Recency bias, all that.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I also think that Texas has the easiest road to the Elite Eight in this. Or to
Texas
the
or
Final
Baylor.
Four.
I think Baylor's road's pretty easy at least to this 8. If Utah State wins,
right? Yeah. So like, and I guess that's one of the advantages of being a 1 or 2 seed. Like you just sometimes you just get the better end of the deal.
Definitely.
All right, and so that takes us all the way to the
we're elite,
the Elite 8 in the top side of the bracket. Now, Trammell, do you want to go ahead and do the bottom half, or do you want to save that for later this week?
No, let's just knock it out, bro.
All right, let's knock it out.
Let's keep going. These
all
people want to see it. Let's keep going.
1 seed in the East, we got, let's see here. We got Purdue versus one of the play-ins. It's going to be the Texas Southern. And
you're talking about the bottom of this entire bracket.
Yeah, like again, we've done half the bracket.
All right, perfect. Let's keep it going.
So we got
We're going to speed run it, though.
Yep,
let's speed run it.
Purdue versus all the Big 12 teams are mostly in the top half of the bracket anyway, so that's what I care about. Versus one of the play-ins, I think we can both agree Purdue.
Yep.
We got Memphis versus FAU. I'm going to go with Memphis.
Yep.
Duke versus Oral Roberts.
I'm going to laugh. Oral Roberts is going to get this one done. I'm telling you, Duke is going to get upset in this one sometime, but I'm thinking first round exit.
I mean, I completely agree with you. So,
no, Coach K.
Tennessee, Louisiana. Tennessee's a 4 seed.
Yep,
Tennessee's
rocking
all
that
the way. This is also one of the teams that gave it to Alabama pretty good this year. Kentucky, Providence.
Kentucky.
Easy. Kansas State, Montana State. Kansas State's 3 seed.
Kansas State's probably going to win that one. I'm guessing a 5. We're about to get to a 6, whatever.
7 seed.
Yeah, 7 seeds.
So Michigan State is the next one, and they're a 7 seed. So Kansas State 3 seed, Montana State 14 seed.
Gotcha. And the next one we're going
Michigan USC 7 seed versus 10 seed.
I'm going to see the 10 seed's going to win this one, USC. I like them over Michigan.
And again, after watching that Iowa game where they came back when they were down 11 with 100 minutes to go against Michigan State to force overtime, didn't inspire confidence.
Nope.
Marquette and Vermont.
Marquette, easy.
Easy. All right. West. Number 1 seed Kansas versus Howard.
Jayhawk power. Let's go Rock Chalk.
Arkansas, Illinois, 8 seed versus 9 seed.
Arkansas.
I'm going to say Illinois.
Okay, we can rock with Illinois on that one.
St. Mary's versus VCU, 5 seed versus 12 seed.
St. Mary's
St.
for
Mary's.
1 round.
Yep.
They'll stay along for 1.
UConn and Iona. I'm just gonna say the Huskies. It's just too much of a discrepancy. 4 and 13.
Yeah.
We got 6 seed TCU versus the other play-in, Arizona State and Nevada.
I think Horned Frogs got this one.
See, as bad as they are,
Arizona State though, maybe we're thinking Arizona State. Maybe
I think Arizona State's just lucky to be here at this point. Like the Big 12 was really good this year.
All right, TCU.
Gonzaga and Grand Canyon. Gonzaga's the 3 seed in this. I think we can both agree that they are moving on.
Moving on.
Northwestern, Boise State, 7 seed, 10 seed.
And then, of course, the bottom of that thing
is going to be UCLA and UNC Asheville.
Yep, UCLA taking that one.
Bruins. Okay. Round of 32, Purdue, Memphis.
Purdue. I think Boilermakers probably have the best chance of winning the whole thing.
Yeah, they're picked to go to the national championship game in one of my brackets. But yeah, Oral Roberts, Tennessee. I don't see Oral Roberts beating Volunteers.
Yep.
Kentucky, Kansas State. I'm rolling
Kentucky.
I'm rolling with the Wildcats.
Kentucky, though, I mean, I don't know. Coach Cal is kind of
the Wildcats are going to win this game.
Yeah, of course.
Come on, man. Yeah. It's going to be the Wildcats.
Anyways, so you can put down whichever one you want for that one. Let's just keep it going.
I'm just going to put Kentucky so people don't think I'm as biased as I really am. All right, USC, Marquette.
Marquette.
Yep, easy. Other side, Kansas, Illinois.
Rock Chalk all the way.
You better be picking those NCAA champions last year.
Yeah.
St. Mary's, UConn.
UConn?
I say St. Mary's.
St. Mary's? Let's go St. Mary's.
TCU, Gonzaga.
TCU.
That's a bold pick right there, man. I'm about it, though, man.
Yeah, you're being a homer. You can't stop now.
Yeah, hey, but I'm about it.
We're going 1 round with them.
Last time Gonzaga played a Big 12 team, they got beat in the tournament by Texas Tech, so I ain't mad at it. So, and lastly, on that side, Northwestern, UCLA. I'm going to roll Bruins on this one.
Okay.
Golden Bears.
All right. So now we're in 16. Now we're
Bruins, right?
Yeah. So now we are in
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16 in this bottom half of this bracket.
Yep. We got Purdue and Tennessee.
Oh, that one's going to be a tough one, but the Boilermakers are going to take care of it.
Kentucky, Marquette.
I think it's going to be the end of Marquette.
Like you're picking Marquette or the end of Marquette?
I think that's the end of them.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely see the Wildcats winning this game.
Okay.
Jayhawks and St. Mary's.
Kansas.
TCU, UCLA.
Now the Bruins are going to get that one. Sorry, TCU, go home.
Bye, Horned Frogs.
Yeah,
you almost made it to 2 national championships in a row.
Yeah, didn't though.
All right, Elite 8 on this side. Or I guess Elite 8 total is going to be, let's go back up to the top. And remember, we had Virginia, Baylor, and Houston, Texas.
Start with Virginia, Baylor. Okay, Virginia's good. Baylor's a couple years out of a national championship. I don't think we have that many Big 12 teams in the final.
Other than Texas Tech, Baylor's the youngest team in the Big 12. So
I'm going to go with Virginia.
I'm completely fine with that. Houston and Texas, I'm rolling with the Cougars.
Still, that would be a really good game, though.
Yep,
Definitely.
It will be a really good game, but yeah, I'm rolling with the Cougars. And that's half of our Final Four. On the other half, it's going to be Purdue, Kentucky versus and Kansas, UCLA.
So we're thinking Kentucky, Kansas for the old school Blue Bloods.
I mean, yeah. I could definitely see that happening.
If Kentucky goes that far, they're going to make some things happen. But Purdue is
Purdue
really,
is so
really,
good
really, really good. Yeah, really good. So
I'm picking Boilermakers, man. It's
Okay.
got to be Boilermakers and Jayhawks, both the 1 seeds out of that side. It's just one of those.
what do we
where,
have on the other side? We got all but 1 seeds?
We got Houston for sure. No, we picked Alabama to lose.
Oh, yeah, we have Virginia. So 3 1 seeds in Virginia.
Which, I mean, but
Could
like,
happen.
Again, that's
Could
kind
happen.
of how it go. What did I say?
Yeah.
13 out of the last 15.
Yeah.
We're all 1 seeds. You
So
know?
now we got Final Four.
Final Four
Virginia.
here, is we're going to have Virginia versus Purdue.
Virginia, Purdue.
I think the Cavaliers are done here.
Yeah. And then Kansas.
Jayhawks and Cougars.
I think Houston.
I could definitely see it happening, but I could also see the Jayhawks winning. So at this point, it truly is a coin flip.
Yeah, and then we got, of course, the NCAA championship. For our last pick, NCAA champions, who's it going to be, Chadwick? Tell me.
I'm rolling with the Houston Cougars all the way.
All right. I'll go with the Purdue Boilermakers just so they can't completely copy our bracket because our bracket is going to go perfect and we're going to win $1 million.
All right, final score.
Oh, yeah, I got to have a final score. Final score, Purdue, 68. And who was the other team? Kansas. Oh, no, it was Houston.
Houston.
59.
Wow, you're going with a blowout in the national
8-point
championship
game. 9-point game. That's not a blowout.
See, I was thinking it would be more of an offensive game in this one. I was going to say 79-77 Houston Cougars.
Buzzer beater?
Yeah, you know what?
Or a missed buzzer beater?
A miss. Okay, you know what? I like that one even better. Missed buzzer beater.
Missed buzzer beater. Okay,
Yeah.
missed buzzer beater by Purdue, and the Cougars win it. If you're me, played a little defense down the stretch, won by 8 for
Right.
Purdue. So,
Hey,
go make your brackets, people.
right? Yay. So again, you can make this bracket at NCAA's official website. At their official website, you can go to ESPN.com. You can also go to Yahoo, and I think that there's a couple others.
There's
but
tons of them.
yeah,
Your
just-
office may have a pool going. I mean, come on.
yeah.
Just have a little fun. It's
Like,
March. Let's get
right.
mad. Yeah.
Oh, and final thoughts here, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and start. We got the Lakeview Chiefs playing their regular season finale in soccer tonight, so come out and support the Chiefs. Their game starts actually here in about 15 minutes. They're playing Midland Greenwood at home tonight. So,
At 5 o'clock, just in case you're
Yeah,
watching this post and show up 15
and
minutes
post,
from
yeah.
7 o'clock.
Right, yeah. My bad. At 5 o'clock today. So they're playing the regular season finale. They're already district champions, as well as the Lakeview girls. They're also district champions. Playoffs start next week.
Awesome. So this has been a little bit of a sports segment we got going on. Of course, this is live daily news. You can catch us every afternoon, Monday through Friday. We're going to give you a little bit of news, a little bit of an interview today. We didn't have an official interview booked, so we just sat down, had some fun, did some March Madness, and we do this from occasion just to show you that, hey, we're more than a news company. We also just like to sit around and have some fun and talk sports. So for Ryan Chadwick, I'm Matt Trammell for the Cover One crew and, of course, live daily news. We'll see you tomorrow.